I want to give you a definition, and it may be one you've never heard of before, and it's for the word addiction. And I don't mean substances or bad habits. I mean something much more precise than those definitions that you've probably heard before. And it's simply this: an addiction is any emotion backed demand. Any situation where if things don't go exactly how you need them to go, you suffer. Now, hold that because everything I'm going to build on starts from this. Now, Ken Keyes Jr., he spent decades mapping this, and what he found was both simple and devastating. And it's that every negative emotion you experience, every spike of anger, every wave of anxiety, every familiar sinking feeling in the body, it's a signal. It's not that something external is wrong, but rather an addiction inside has been triggered. For example, your partner says something dismissive and you feel it in your chest. That's not love being threatened. That's actually an addiction to being received a certain way that's going unmet. The traffic makes you late, for example, and your whole nervous system starts firing haywire. That's not a reasonable response to inconvenience. That's actually an addiction to control meeting reality in the present moment. You look at your bank account, something contracts. That's an addiction to security running its program. None of this is weakness, by the way. It's not pathology either. It's just programming. It was installed very early. And nobody gave you a explanation for why it was there. It just runs automatically, completely invisible until you actually discover what you're looking at. And here's the thing that most people never actually connect. Every single one of those moments costs you energy, not metaphorically, but physically. The body and the mind are actually one system. Whatever fires in this emotional body fires in the physical body. And every demand that goes unmet, every contraction, every loop that's running, it draws from that same account. This is actually why you're tired. It's not because you're doing too much. And it's not because something in you needs to change necessarily, aside from the fact that you've been fighting your entire life constantly, quietly, exhaustingly. And that fighting, it costs energy. That energy was actually meant for living and loving. And Ken Keyes, he called this leaking. And once you become familiar with this term, I promise you'll never go back. So here's where it gets practical. There's a difference, a profound difference between an addiction and a preference. A preference is, I would like for this to go my way. If it doesn't happen, I'll feel mild disappointment. I'll breathe, I'll adjust, and I'll move forward. An addiction is, I need for this to happen. And if it does not happen, I will suffer. I'll close down, I'll spin, I'll go cold, and I'll likely fight. And this is what's crazy. It's the same situation, but a completely different internal experience, completely different energy cost. The crucial thing about all of this is that it actually took me a really long time for this to land in my body and not just understand it intellectually in my head. And what got clear was finally that the energy that was allocated for suffering caused by the situation, that was something external. It was caused by the demand. My partner didn't make me angry. My addiction to them behaving in a certain way, this is what created my suffering. And the moment I realized that I was in demand, I finally could identify and see where the leaking was occurring. Keyes, he mapped what he calls seven centers of consciousness. You can reference them as chakras. These seven levels, this is where we operate from. The lower three, security, sensation, and power, this is where almost all of our addictions live. And they all share this one quality in common. They all require something outside of us to feel okay. You need enough security to feel safe. I get it. You need enough pleasure to feel good. You need enough control to actually feel capable and worthy. And I don't know if you've noticed, the world being what it is, it does not reliably deliver any of those things on our terms. So these lower centers, they actually leak all day, every day, until we actually learn how to operate from someplace higher. It's the fourth center, the center of love. And this is ultimately where the shift begins. Because love does not require conditions to be met first. It's self-generating. It doesn't wait for the world to cooperate. And the path from the lower centers to this fourth center, it's not discipline. It doesn't require willpower. It's simply reprogramming, systematically converting demands into preferences, one triggered emotion at a time. So I want to bring this now into the physical layer because that's what this channel is all about. It's the whole system. It's not just the mind. Take the research on biochemistry or the biochemistry of an emotion, for example. The chemical signature of a triggered emotion in the physical body, it lasts approximately 90 seconds. 90 seconds. If you give your full emotion to that emotion, or that if you give your full awareness to that emotion running fully in the present moment, free from resistance, no story layered on top, just awareness of the physical sensations in the body. It will complete its cycle and it will move through. Everything after those 90 seconds is you retriggering it through the thought loop, through the narrative, through the demand that it shouldn't be happening. So the leak isn't the emotion itself, the leak is the loop. The leak is the loop. And the loop is fed by resistance, by the part of you that says, this feeling shouldn't be here. This situation, it shouldn't be this way. This person shouldn't have said or done that. Every ounce of energy that goes into resistance, into actually fighting what is, it's actually energy that's available for healing and creating and for loving and actually being present with the people in front of you. We've just forgotten. That's all. The Taoists, they understood this long before modern neuroscience. They had the language for it. And the term they had for it was Wu Wei, non resistance. It's not passivity at all. It's actually the most efficient energy means by which to move through the world. Water, it doesn't fight the riverbank. It actually finds a path of least resistance and it flows. Your emotional body, it works the same way. Whatever you resist persists and it costs you. So whatever you allow to complete its cycle, it moves through you and it releases. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Not after this video, but starting with the next triggered moment you experience today. As soon as it occurs, don't analyze it. Don't try to fix anything. Don't immediately reach for the reframe. Just notice it with your loving awareness. The instant you feel the contraction, that familiar tightening, that spike, that sinking in your gut, before you do anything else, just say to yourself, something has been triggered. I have an addiction that is not being met right now. That's the entire practice. And for today, that's enough. Because here's what that single act does, that immediate act of awareness. It moves you from being inside of the reaction where you're completely at its mercy to being able to observe the reaction from a higher vantage point. And the moment you can observe it, you're no longer fully controlled by it. You're not suppressing the emotion, you're not bypassing it either. You're giving it the one thing that allows it to complete its cycle, its energy in motion, emotion. By giving it your loving present moment awareness, you allow that emotion to move. 90 seconds. That's all it takes. That's all a true emotion actually needs. The addiction, it needs way longer because the addiction is fed by the story. It's fed by the demand. It's fed by the loop. Remove the loop, and what remains? It's just physical sensation in the body, and sensation will move through. I promise. Try it once today, just one time. That's all I'm asking. You're not tired because you're broken, you're weak, or you're doing life wrong. You're tired because something inside of you has been fighting for a really long time. And that fight costs the same energy that was meant for living and loving. The path back, it's not more optimization, I promise. It's less leaking. Next week, I'll take you through the full map of all 7 centers of consciousness so you can see exactly what floor you've been operating from and what exactly it's costing you. And what happens when you start to level up and move higher into the higher centers of consciousness. If this landed, please subscribe and please share it with somebody who needs to hear it today. I'll see you in the work.